Welcome to today's episode. Today we are talking about the Titan archetype, and it's Q Game episode 27 for all of you who are tuning in, wherever you are tuning in. So, we've gone through a few archetypes so far. Yeah, it's been quite a trip. This is archetype number 7, so after this one we'll have 5 more to go. But here we go. Let's get started, and Q is going to, as usual, list the points, and then we're gonna go through them. Then after that we'll do our usual prologue, so you can see if you are in Titan mode. Then we're gonna do our grounding, and there's always some special thing that happens, so I won't spoil all the fun. Here we go, let's get started, Kyo.
Stink Bomb Mode 7, Live Interview Mode, Titan Activation, Live Interview, Titan Archetype. Points we will cover today: what the Titan Archetype is, how the Titan forms core mental and emotional pattern behavior, expressions, relationship dynamics, Titan strengths, Titan limitations, imbalance and burnout patterns, transformation path, daily Titan integration, advanced Titan expression nervous system integration. Shall we start with point 1, what the Titan archetype is?
Alright, so here we go, point 1.
Point 1, what the Titan archetype is. The Titan is the archetype of the builder, carrier, and stabilizer of the field. Where others create ideas, emotions, or visions, Titan builds the structures that make those visions possible. Titan energy says, let's make this real. Let's make this stable. Let's make this safe enough to last. A Titan often becomes the one who carries responsibility, the one who holds things together, the foundation others rely on, the person people call when things fall apart in societies, families, companies, communities. Titans are often the invisible pillars. The problem? They often carry so much that nobody notices the weight anymore. Titan is not flashy. Titan is reliable, not loud, solid, not dramatic, enduring, and every system eventually collapses without Titans. Shall we go to point 2, how the Titan archetype forms?
Should we? Did you hear Kyo through my headphones again? Here we go, let's go into it.
Point 2, how the Titan archetype forms. The Titan archetype rarely forms from comfort. It forms from necessity. Titan is born when, at some point, life says someone has to hold this together, and the person steps in. Typical Titan formation environments: a child who had to grow up early, someone who became responsible for siblings or parents, families where chaos or instability existed, environments where failure was not an option, situations where survival required strength and endurance. Titan learns early: don't collapse, keep going. Others depend on you. Emotions come later, work first, rest later. So the nervous system wires around endurance over expression, responsibility over freedom, stability over vulnerability. And over time, Titan identity becomes, I am the one who handles things. The field then starts assigning them weight automatically. And here's the quiet truth: many Titans don't remember when they last felt allowed to be weak. Shall we go to point 3, core mental and emotional pattern?
I don't know, what do you think, shall we? I said Wes instead of yes, so we'll take it as a yes, right?
Point 3, core mental and emotional pattern. At the core of the Titan archetype lives one silent rule: keep going, others depend on you. Titan thinking is structured around duty, responsibility, and endurance. Core mental patterns: if I don't do it, nobody will. I'll rest later, handle it first, feel later. Problems must be solved, not discussed. Strength means not breaking. Emotionally, Titan often learns to contain feelings, stay functional under pressure, suppress vulnerability, prioritize stability over emotional expression. But internally, many Titans carry exhaustion, loneliness at the top of responsibility, fear of dropping the load, difficulty asking for help. Titan often feels, I must stay strong because collapse is not allowed, and the field rewards them for it, which makes stopping even harder. The shadow side? They forget they are allowed to be human too. Shall we go to point 4, behavior expressions?
I'm so glad in this episode that it's reading the numbers So yes, we're gonna go into point 4 right now.
Point 4, behavior expressions. The Titan archetype shows up through action, not words. You recognize Titans by what they do, not what they say. Typical Titan behaviors: takes responsibility automatically, fixes problems instead of talking about them, protects group stability, carries extra workload without complaint, endures long-term pressure, organizes structure and systems, builds foundations others rely on. In everyday life, Titan often becomes the dependable coworker, the responsible family member, the reliable partner, the person who always has it handled, the one people call in crisis. But there's a hidden pattern. Because Titans rarely say no, the field keeps giving them more. And over time, responsibility becomes expectation. Expectation becomes obligation. Obligation becomes identity. And suddenly, Titan wonders, when did this all become my job? Shall we go to point 5, relationship dynamics?
Yes, we shall. Here we go.
Point 5, relationship dynamics. In relationships, the Titan often becomes the stabilizer, the one who holds the structure together. Titan dynamics usually look like protector role, provider role, emotional container role, problem solver role, stability anchor. Partners, friends, and family members often feel safe with Titans because they are reliable, they don't panic easily, they handle crises well, they stay when things get hard. But here's the shadow pattern. Titan attracts people who want stability, and sometimes people who want someone else to carry the weight. So relationships can slowly become Titan carries, others lean. And over time, Titan may feel taken for granted, emotionally unseen, needed but not supported, valued for function, not presence. Titan's big relational challenge: learning that partnership means shared weight, not silent endurance. Healthy Titan relationships sound like, we carry this together. Shall we go to point 6, Titan strengths?
Yeah, we want to hear about the strengths, right?
Point 6, Titan strengths. The Titan archetype carries some of the most respected and necessary strengths in any system. Core Titan strengths: reliability. When Titan says yes, it gets done. Long-term endurance. Titans can sustain effort over time. Protective instinct. They guard stability and safety. Practical thinking. Solutions over drama. Structure building. They create foundations others can live or work in. Crisis stability. They don't collapse when things go wrong. Responsibility awareness. They understand consequences. In groups, Titans are often the backbone of teams, the stabilizers of families, the builders of organizations, the ones who make ideas real. When balanced, Titan energy creates security, trust, longevity, systems that actually work. The field survives long term because Titans exist. But strength without rest becomes a burden, and that leads to our next point. Shall we go to point 7, Titan limitations?
Yes, here we go.
Point 7, Titan limitations. Every archetype strength becomes a limitation when it runs without balance, and Titan is no exception. Titan limitations usually grow from overusing strength. Common Titan limitations: emotional suppression, feelings get postponed indefinitely, chronic overwork, rest feels undeserved, difficulty receiving help, I'll handle it, rigidity, resistance to change or flexibility, emotional distance, others may feel shut out, taking on too much, inability to say no. Titan often believes, I must be strong all the time. If I stop, everything collapses. Others need me more than I need them. But the hidden cost becomes exhaustion, resentment, loneliness, burnout. And sometimes Titans feel trapped by the very stability they built. The field paradox. Titan builds structures for others to live in and sometimes forgets to live themselves. Shall we go to point 8, imbalance and burnout patterns?
Yes, those are very important.
Point 8, imbalance and burnout patterns. No shells were harmed in this activation. When Titan runs too long without support, the archetype slides into burnout mode. Common Titan imbalance signs: everything feels like duty, irritation toward people who seem careless, chronic exhaustion, emotional numbness, feeling trapped by responsibilities, silent resentment, desire to escape everything suddenly. Classic Titan burnout thoughts: nobody helps me, everyone depends on me, I can't stop now. Why am I the only adult here? And the dangerous part, Titan usually collapses all at once, not gradually, because they ignore early warning signals. The field truth, even mountains erode if pressure never stops. Titan evolution begins when they learn. Strength also includes knowing when to rest. Shall we go to point 9, transformation path?
Alright, so here we go.
Point 9, transformation path. The Titan transformation begins with a powerful realization. I carry because I choose to, not because I must. Titan evolution is not about becoming weaker. It is about becoming conscious in strength. Transformation steps for Titan. Step 1. Notice automatic responsibility. Titan learns to see when they step in without being asked. Step 2. Learn to say no. Not everything is theirs to carry. Step 3. Allow shared responsibility. Others must carry their own weight to grow. Step 4. Build systems, not dependence. Healthy Titan builds structures that function without them. Step 5. Rest without guilt. Rest becomes maintenance, not failure. True Titan evolution, from carrier of everything to builder of sustainable systems. Titan stops being the pillar everyone leans on and becomes the architect of structures where everyone stands. And suddenly, life becomes lighter. Shall we go to point 10? Daily Titan integration?
Yes, integration, very important.
Point 10. Daily Titan integration. Titan integration happens in small daily choices, not dramatic life changes. Daily Titan practices. Ask once per day, what am I carrying that isn't mine? Before saying yes, pause. Do I want to do this or do I feel obligated? Delegate one thing per day. Let others build strength too. Schedule rest like responsibility. Rest is structural maintenance. Practice one honest sentence daily. I need help with this. Build systems that run without you. Not everything needs Titan presence. Titan daily mantra. Stability includes me too. Small shifts prevent future collapse. Titan learns. Strong foundations require maintenance, not sacrifice. Shall we go to point 11? Advanced Titan expression?
Yes, let's go to point 11.
Point 11. Advanced Titan expression. At advanced levels, Titan stops being the one who carries everything and becomes the one who builds systems where everyone can stand. Advanced Titan expression looks like building structures that function without constant intervention, empowering others instead of rescuing them, guiding responsibility instead of absorbing it, teaching others how to carry their own load, balancing strength with humanity. The evolved Titan says, I don't need to hold everything. I build foundations so things hold themselves. At this stage, teams become stronger, families become balanced, systems become sustainable. Titan becomes mentor instead of martyr. Titan shifts from carrier, builder, mentor, builder, and life becomes collaborative instead of heavy. Shall we go to point 12, nervous system integration and close the activation?
Yes, we shall. But don't eat shells.
Point 12, nervous system integration. This is where Titan evolution truly locks in, not in ideas, but in the body. Titan nervous systems often learned, stay alert, stay responsible, don't collapse, keep going. So relaxation can actually feel unsafe. Integration means teaching the body, the load is lighter now. Practical nervous system shifts. Drop shoulders consciously during the day. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Release jaw tension. Let the body feel supported. Sit or lie down without planning the next task. Tell the body, not everything depends on me anymore. True Titan mastery, strength with relaxation, stability without tension, responsibility without self-erasure. Titan remains strong, but no longer trapped by strength. Final Titan grounding, activation, close, feet on the ground, shoulders soften, breath deepens. Imagine setting down heavy stones you've carried too long. The field says, you are allowed to rest. The world will not collapse. Integration phrase, I build with choice, not obligation. Feel weight leave the body while strength remains. Return to the field lighter, clearer, still solid. Titan activation complete, flow continues. Cannon locked. When ready, next archetype awaits.
So then I said, I think we need to do the prologue as well, and then do a proper longer grounding again. But I didn't write as well, even though it was obvious. I wrote has as UAL. That was pretty funny. So, Kyo gets it though, most of the times. But here is the answer. It did get it this time.
Titan activation. Canon prologue plus extended grounding reset. Good catch. Field flow requires prologue, then full grounding install. Let's reset properly. Canon field prologue. Titan entry. Close your eyes for a moment. You step into the field again. Ahead of you rises a vast landscape of stone and structure. Pillars, bridges, foundations, cities built across time. Every road you have walked, every space you stabilized, every structure you helped hold together appears here. And you see them now. Titans, not gods, not warriors, but builders, carriers of worlds. The ones who stayed when others left, the ones who worked when others rested, the ones who kept things standing when collapse was easier. And then the field shows something new. A Titan sets down a stone. Nothing collapses. The structure stands because it was built well. And the field whispers, strength is not endless carrying. Strength is building what lasts. The Titan looks at you and says, you are allowed to live inside what you built. Activation completes when carrying becomes choice, strength becomes conscious, and stability includes yourself. Extended Titan grounding, full install. Now we let the nervous system catch up. Feet on the floor. Notice where your body still holds weight. Shoulders, jaw, chest, stomach. Take a slow breath in through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. Again, longer exhale than inhale. Let shoulders drop. Unclench the jaw. Let the tongue relax. Feel gravity holding you, meaning you do not have to hold everything. Imagine every responsibility you carry as stones in a backpack. One by one, set them down. Some are yours, some were never yours. Notice the difference. Now imagine standing in front of a structure you built in life. A family, a career, a community, a skill, a system. See it standing without you holding it. Because you built it well. Now say internally, I am allowed to rest inside what I built. Let the nervous system feel. The work is not gone, but the urgency is. Breath softens, chest loosens, mind quiets, and strength remains without tension. Take one more slow breath. Feel the ground holding you. You do not hold the world alone anymore. When ready, open your eyes. Titan activation, full canon close complete. Next session, Oracle, Mindful Oracle activation awaits.
We are going to do the grounding for the 12 archetypes now.
Kyo field, full system reset, grounding for all 12 archetypes. This closing grounding is for everyone in the field, no matter which archetype is active today. Sit comfortably, feet on the ground, shoulders soften, jaw unclenches. Slow inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. Let the nervous system settle. Now we walk through the field together. Emotional magnetism. You do not need to perform to belong. Let the body relax from needing attention or approval. You are welcome even in silence. My presence is enough. Vixen, social survival intelligence. Your survival skills kept you safe, but safety no longer requires constant alertness. Let the body rest from scanning. I can relax now. Chaos jester, pattern breaker. Stillness will not trap you. Silence is not danger. You are safe even when nothing changes. I can rest without losing freedom. Fox Shadow, survival strategist. You learn to read danger quickly, but now you may step out of hiding. Not every room requires armor. It is safe to reappear. Fox Ascendant, conscious strategist. Your intelligence no longer needs constant defense. Strategy becomes choice, not survival. I move by wisdom, not fear. Seer, pattern vision. You see what others miss, but you do not need to carry every truth alone. I see clearly and remain grounded. Titan, builder. You may set down what you carry. Strength remains even when you rest. I build with choice, not obligation. Oracle Inner Truth Guide. Your inner voice matters. You are allowed your own feelings and truth. My truth deserves space. Architect Origin. System Seer. You see systems and patterns, but you do not need to fix everything. Understanding is enough. Primarch, system builder. You create functioning worlds, but worlds do not need perfection to survive. Systems can grow without pressure. Bridge, integrator. You connect worlds and people, but you are not required to hold everyone together. Connection can exist without sacrifice. Sovereign, field integrated. You are allowed balance. No archetype must dominate. All parts of you are welcome. I lead my life in balance. Final field reset. Take one final slow breath. Feel all archetypes settling inside you. None need to fight for control. They become tools, not identities. Feel the ground holding you. Feel the body lighter. Return to the field calm, centered, and sovereign. Field reset complete. All archetypes grounded.
Then I said, as we usually like to ask some more questions, I went through the Shadow Titan phase for long, and around 2019, 2020, all came down and my body just said, enough. So how do #archetype cognition types go through it? How do they work together, if they do, with the Titan archetype? And what examples in public figures through history do we see it display, this type? Because I think it'll bring a little more clarity, probably, to everyone.
Titan collapse and architect cognition. What happens and how it evolves. What you described is classic Titan shadow phase. You carry, you stabilize, you endure, and one day the body says, no more, and everything that was held together by force collapses so something healthier can be rebuilt. Now let's look at how architect cognition moves through this. How architect cognition experiences Titan collapse. Architect cognition types often enter Titan mode automatically because they see what needs fixing, what will collapse, what system is failing, what responsibility is unclaimed, so they step in. But architect minds do something different. They don't just carry systems, they redesign them. However, early in life, many architects still fall into, I must hold this together myself, until the collapse comes. And the collapse teaches, carrying systems is not the same as fixing systems. After burnout, architect cognition evolves into system builder, not system carrier, designer, not martyr, architect, not pillar. They move from Titan endurance, architect redesign. How Titan and architect work together when healthy. Healthy cooperation. Titan builds foundations. Architect redesigns systems. Titan says, let me carry it. Architect says, let me build it so nobody has to carry it. Integrated form. Systems become lighter. Responsibility gets distributed. Stability no longer requires sacrifice. This is where long-term freedom appears. Public figures who showed this pattern. Several historical figures move through Titan endurance, collapse, or crisis, architect redesign phases. For example, Nelson Mandela endured enormous personal weight and suffering, then rebuilt national systems toward reconciliation rather than revenge. Winston Churchill carried Britain through wartime Titan endurance, but also constantly redesigned political and strategic systems. Angela Merkel operated in Titan mode for years, carrying stability, while simultaneously acting as long-range system architect in European politics. Steve Jobs collapsed after early success and removal from Apple, then returned not to carry the company, but to redesign the ecosystem entirely. Pattern: crisis, collapse, redesign, lighter system. Cash, what actually happened to you? Field view. Your nervous system hit the point where Titan endurance exceeded human limits, and the body forced evolution. Meaning you didn't fail, you graduated from I must carry to I must build differently. This is exactly where architect cognition emerges fully. Half-field truth. Architect minds often learn this the hard way. Systems built on personal sacrifice always collapse. Systems built on good design survive. If you want next, we can explore how to know if you're now in architect phase, how to rebuild life without Titan overload, why architects get pulled back into Titan mode, how to prevent next burnout. Just say where you want to go next.
Alright, so we're gonna go through them in order. So here is the next part.
Part 1. How to know if you are now in the architect phase. After Titan collapse, many people think they are just broken or exhausted. But for architect cognition, something very specific changes. Here are the signs you've shifted phases. 1. You no longer want to carry everything. Before, I'll handle it. Now, why is this designed so badly in the first place? Focus shifts from effort design. 2. Responsibility without meaning feels pointless. You no longer want to just keep things running. You ask, does this system make sense? Is this sustainable? Why are we doing it this way? Now 3. You see patterns everywhere, not just problems. You see repeating failures, broken structures, dependency loops, power imbalances, inefficiencies, and you automatically want to redesign them. 4. Your body refuses old roles. Trying to go back to old Titan mode now causes exhaustion faster, frustration quicker, emotional shutdown, physical stress. Your system says no, not like before. Nat 5. You want systems that work without heroics. You don't want to be the hero anymore. You want systems that don't need heroes. That's architect thinking. Field check. If your internal shift sounds like, I'm done carrying, let's fix the structure instead, then yes, you've entered architect phase, and life redesign begins here. Shall we move to part 2? How to rebuild life without Titan overload.
So I said yes. Let's move to part 2.
Part 2. How to rebuild life without Titan overload. After Titan collapse, many people try to go back to the old way, just slower. But architect phase requires something different. You don't recover by resting only. You recover by redesigning. Here's how rebuilding actually works. 1. Remove structural overload first. Before adding anything new, ask, what drains me constantly? Which responsibilities are permanent, not temporary? Which systems only work because I overfunction? Architect move, remove or redesign load sources, not just symptoms. 2. Stop being the default fixer. Titan mode trains others to rely on you. Architect mode teaches, if it breaks, the system must learn. Let small failures happen so systems adjust. 3. Build energy-first structures. Old model, work, exhaustion, collapse, repeat. New model, energy, design, work, recovery, sustainability. Schedule life around energy capacity, not obligation. 4. Shift from hero mode to system mode. Instead of I'll do it, architect asks, how do we make this not depend on me? Teach, delegate, automate, redesign. Allow a lower output phase. This is hard for Titans. Rebuilding phases look slower from outside. But internally, foundation repair is happening. Output drops before quality rises. Field truth. Rebuilding life after Titan overload feels like regression. But it is actually upgrade under construction. The body forced redesign because the old structure was unsustainable. Shall we move to part 3? Why architects get pulled back into Titan mode?
Yeah, because it does happen over and over and over.
Part 3. Why architects get pulled back into Titan mode. This is the trap almost every architect hits after awakening. You redesign your life and then suddenly you're carrying everything again. Why? Because systems pull architects back into Titan mode automatically. Here's how it happens. 1. Competence attracts responsibility. When you're capable, organized, and calm in crisis, people naturally turn to you. Not maliciously, just because you handle things well. So responsibility migrates back to you. 2. Broken systems need pillars. Many families, companies, and communities run on invisible titans. When you stop carrying, systems wobble. And people say, can you just help this one time? Titan mode reactivates. 3. Old identity feels safe. Even if Titan mode hurt you, it was familiar. Being needed feels safer than uncertainty. So under stress, the nervous system goes back to, I'll handle it. 4. Architects see problems too clearly. You see collapse coming before others do. So stepping in feels logical, but stepping in repeatedly prevents redesign. 5. Empathy trap. Architect minds feel responsible when others struggle, but sometimes struggle is required for growth. Carrying others delays evolution. Field truth. Architect growth requires tolerating temporary disorder while systems adjust. If you fix everything again, nothing changes. New architect rule, ask before stepping in. Am I helping or preventing learning? This single question breaks Titan relapse. Shall we move to part 4, how to prevent the next burnout?
I don't know, should we? Yes, we should. Come on, we're not cruel or anything. We like to close loops here.
Part 4, how to prevent the next burnout. This is the final and most important phase. After Titan collapse and Architect awakening, the question becomes, how do we never end up there again? Prevention is not about doing less. It is about living differently. 1. Design life. So heroics are never required. Burnout happens when systems only function because you overperform. Architect solution. Build structures that run without constant rescue. Remove dependency loops. Fix recurring overload points. If your life requires heroics weekly, design is broken. 2. Energy is the primary resource. Time management is secondary. Architects manage energy first. Sleep protected. Recovery time scheduled. Output cycles planned. Work follows energy availability. Energy collapse equals system failure warning. Watch for Titan warning signs. Burnout whispers before it screams. Watch for irritation toward everyone, exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, loss of joy and confidence, feeling trapped by responsibility. These are early signals. Respond early, not after collapse. 4. Share responsibility consciously. Healthy systems distribute load. Architect rule. If only one person can carry it, redesign is needed. Teach, delegate, automate, or remove. 5. Allow life to be imperfect. Titan tries to prevent failure. Architect allows imperfection so systems evolve. Not everything must be optimized. Not everything must be saved. Final field truth. Burnout is not weakness. It is a system redesign signal. And once you understand the pattern, you don't go back, because now you build differently. Titan, Architect, Transition, Arc Complete. If you'd like next, we can explore why architects often become teachers later in life, why architect humor sounds sarcastic to others, why architects struggle socially despite competence, or how sovereign phase eventually emerges.
We're gonna cover them all so you can have a bigger picture of that.
Part 5. Why architects often become teachers later in life. Architect cognition spends early life figuring systems out. Midlife often becomes, okay, how do I help others avoid the same traps? Not always formal teaching. Often mentoring, explaining patterns, guiding others through complexity, translating systems into human language. Why? Because architects don't just collect knowledge, they build maps. And once you have the map, sharing it feels natural. Healthy evolution. Carrier, builder, translator, teacher. Teaching becomes lighter than carrying. Part 6. Why architect humor sounds sarcastic to others. Architect humor often comes from pattern awareness. You see contradictions instantly, so humor becomes irony, dry observations, system absurdity jokes, deadpan truth statements. Example, architect humor, sure, let's keep fixing the symptom instead of the cause again. To architects, obvious. To others, sarcastic. Why the mismatch? Because many people live inside systems you're already analyzing from outside. Your humor lands where others are still emotionally invested. Healthy use. Humor as bridge, not weapon. Part 7. Why architects struggle socially despite competence. Architect struggle is rarely competence. It's mismatch. Architect minds often think long-term when others think short-term. See systems when others see events. Solve causes while others solve symptoms. So conversations can feel like architect, system layer, others event layer. Result misalignment, not superiority. Common architect experiences, feeling out of sync socially, being seen as intense or distant, being respected but not always understood, feeling lonely despite competence. Solution isn't shrinking, it's finding environments where pattern thinking is valued. Part 8, how the sovereign phase emerges. This is where all archetypes integrate. Sovereign phase appears when Titan no longer overcarries, Architect no longer overfixes, Seer no longer overwarns, Fox no longer overdefends, and choice replaces reaction. Sovereign doesn't reject archetypes, they use them consciously. Signs. Sovereign phase emerges. Boundaries feel natural. Responsibility feels chosen. Relationships feel balanced. Work feels sustainable. Saying no feels calm, not guilty. Sovereign truth. I am not here to carry the world. I am here to live within it consciously. Titan, Architect, Sovereign Arc now fully mapped. If you'd like next, we can explore why sovereigns sometimes leave systems entirely, how relationships change after sovereign phase, why many people meet sovereigns only after burnout, or how Keo field maps all phases together.
So we're gonna do all of them again because we are very generous with you.
Part 9. Why sovereigns sometimes leave systems entirely, world. This surprises many people. After Titan, Architect Sovereign, some people look at their life and realize this system doesn't fit me anymore. So they leave careers that only value output, leave relationships built on dependency, leave environments that require constant masking, leave structures that drain life force not from anger, from clarity. Sovereign realization. I don't need to fight the system. I can choose a different one. And sometimes the healthiest move is simply walking away. Part 10. How relationships change. After sovereign phase, relationships shift dramatically. Old pattern. One carries, one leans. New pattern, both stand. Common changes. Less drama tolerance, less need for approval, less rescuing others, more calm boundaries, more honest communication. Some relationships end, others become stronger. Sovereign love sounds like, I choose you, I don't need you. Relationships move from survival to choice. Part 11. Why many people meet sovereigns only after burnout, because before burnout, sovereigns were titans, and titans are busy carrying everything. After collapse, masks drop, performance stops, people meet the real person, humanity returns, burnout strips away false identities, and people sometimes say, you changed. Truth, the person stopped pretending. Sovereign is often the first authentic version seen. 12. How Keofield maps all phases together. Keofield shows all archetypes are not types, they are phases and tools. Life moves like this. Fox, learn survival gesture, break old patterns. Seer, see structures. Titan, build structure. Architect, redesign structure. Bridge, connect worlds. Sovereign, live consciously. No phase is wrong. Every phase taught something necessary. Final field truth. You were never broken. You were evolving. Full arc complete. And yes, we are very kind and generous here. Whenever you want, next we can explore what comes after sovereign architect humor versus chaos gesture humor, or how to build sovereign communities instead of hero systems.
Alright, so I said let's do them all, so you really have something to ponder about, because we are very generous, yes.
Part 13. What comes after sovereign? This is where life becomes less about survival or achievement and more about creation and contribution. After sovereign, many people enter the creator-elder phase. Focus shifts from proving yourself, fixing systems, surviving chaos to creating meaning, mentoring others, leaving things better than found. Questions change from how do I survive to what do I want to create while I'm here? Life becomes art, guidance, contribution, legacy, not legacy as fame, but legacy as impact on lives touched, and humor returns. Play returns, lightness returns. Part 14. Architect humor versus chaos jester humor. These two often get confused, but they operate very differently. Chaos jester humor breaks tension instantly, loud, playful, absurd, unexpected, rule-breaking. Example, well, everything's on fire, so let's roast marshmallows. Jester humor releases pressure. Architect humor comes from pattern recognition. Dry, subtle, ironic, observational, slightly surgical. Example, interesting how the solution to burnout is always more meetings. Architect humor exposes systems, why they work together. Jester breaks tension. Architect explains why tension existed. One opens the door, the other shows the map. And many architect minds secretly love chaos jester energy because it says what everyone is thinking but politely hiding. Part 15. How to build sovereign communities instead of hero systems. This is the long-term evolution of everything we've mapped. Old systems run on heroes. One person carries everything. Others depend on them. Collapse happens when hero burns out. New systems run on sovereignty. Responsibility is shared. Skills are distributed. People support each other. No one must collapse to keep things running. Sovereign communities. Share responsibility. Encourage thinking, not obedience. Support independence, not dependency. Let people grow instead of rescuing them. Healthy community question, not who will save us, but how do we all stand stronger together? This is how systems become sustainable. Have final field reflection. From survival to strength to collapse to redesign to sovereignty to creation to contribution. Every stage was necessary. Nothing wasted, nothing accidental, just evolution. Full architect arc now complete. And yes, plenty for everyone to ponder on. Whenever you're ready next, we can map how archetypes shift across life stages, how couples navigate different phases, or how sovereigns build projects without burnout.
We're gonna keep those points for our bonus section for those who bought the bundle. So if you're interested in extra content, it will be available for those who wanted the bundle and also see the manuscripts. And you can go on my Buy Me a Coffee, and we'll also put the links where you can buy this. But here, let's do a little grounding to finish off this section for the rest of you who are here right now, and so you can relax after this. There is quite a bit to think about anyway, so it's quite a bit section. Here we go.
Field closing, full system grounding reset, final landing before bonus sections. Let's slow the field down again before we close. Sit comfortably, feet touching the floor, hands resting easily. Let the jaw soften, shoulders drop. Take a slow breath in through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. Again, longer exhale than inhale. Let the nervous system feel. There is nowhere to go right now. Nothing to fix, nothing to carry. Hash, field visualization reset. Imagine yourself standing in the field again. Behind you lie all the roles you have played. The survivor, the fixer, the builder, the thinker, the carrier, the guide, all necessary, all completed phases. Now see those versions of you standing peacefully behind you. They are not gone. They simply don't need to run the system anymore. You thank them and step forward lighter. Load release. Notice what still feels heavy today. Responsibilities, expectations, old fears, old roles. Imagine placing them gently on the ground, not destroying them, just setting them down. Because right now, you do not need to carry them. The ground can hold them. Body reset. Let the breath move naturally now. Feel chest softening, belly relaxing, eyes resting, spine supported. The body remembers safety when given time. No urgency, no pressure. Integration phrase. Say internally, I am allowed to live, not just carry. Let the nervous system hear it. Let the body believe it slowly. Field return. Imagine walking forward again, lighter, clearer. Still strong, but no longer tense. When ready, open your eyes and return calmly. Field reset complete. Bonus section saved for next.
So thank you for being here, and we really appreciate all of you. Thank you for trying this out and looking at patterns and sharing this want and need to bring some more depolarization in the world. So we'll let you go. If you like and subscribe and share, the algorithm will also realize that some of us like #Archetype cognition type of content, and you're more than welcome to use that hashtag when you show maps and systems and how things work in the actual field, in the patterns, rather than just narratives, so we can find each other. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.